Greetings, Guardians. I'm sure not a lot of you really know me, so I'll just start with a small little hi. The name's Kikusari. Recently newish. Well, recently coming back to being a streamer and things of the like. And with everything going on, I basically wanted to make this video as a sort of hot take. And the reason behind that is just pretty much that I have a feeling there's a lot going on in the background that we don't know of. One of the most important things being that is we don't really see everything that's going on. But I digress. The point of this video is to basically tell you that I have a personal hot take when it comes to the state of Destiny and Destiny 3 potentially, and Bungie and Sony and things of the like. That being said, by all means, this is just my own personal opinion. I don't have any solid sources or foundation to basically have this information. It's just my personal take on the matter. Now, I know some of you will sit there going, oh, she's probably just living on hopium, which to some extent you'd be probably right. But at the same time, I'd like to think that maybe this is actually what's going on in the background. So, anywho, back to the nitty-gritty. My personal opinion is I think that maybe Sony isn't really giving us the full story. Think about it. They spent billions of dollars buying Bungie, right? Supporting them and whatnot. And yeah, true, Destiny 2 hasn't really been putting out as of late. And that's understandable. I mean, let's be honest. Before the recent information, how many of you genuinely wanted to hop on Destiny 2 and play the game? Not many. Myself included, so I am by no means free from blame on this. But when it comes to the financial side of things, why would a company spend so much just to let the game that really is the flagship of Bungie at the moment die? So, sounds a little iffy, sounds sketchy and fishy at best. I don't think, in all honesty, they would willingly want to trash the game and say, oh, well, Bungie can move on to a new game, or Marathon is going to hold down the fort. I don't like the way that sounds. Now, this isn't me giving a gripe at Marathon. It's an okay game. I'm not a big fan of extraction shooters, but I did enjoy playing it. So, what's the whole point of all of this, I guess? Well, think about it. What happened back when Helldivers 2 was having an issue when it came to Sony, and how much publicity that gave? And mysteriously, out of nowhere, suddenly Sony backpedaled a bit, right? Oh no, we're not doing this. Oh, we're not going to be exclusive to PSN and this, that, and the other, and issues in that. You can just play the game as it was intended. Strange how that worked after the community sort of blew up. So, what's it for Destiny and Bungie? Well, think about it like this. The world itself kind of revolves around supply and demand. If there's no demand for the supply you have, the value of it depreciates. If there suddenly is minimal of said item or product, it's going to be worth more, and people will want it more and fight for it. I mean, think about it. Look at Pokemon cards. Scalpers destroy those things, and people really want to actually purchase them and be genuine about them. But I digress. This isn't about Pokemon now, is it? It's about something bigger. It's about us, Guardians. Continuing on our fight. Living in the world that Bungie created. And we all know deep down that that story is not done. Yeah, everybody is talking about that the light will live on. We'll keep moving forward and this, that, and the other. But we all know deep down that story has not been told to its fullest. And none of us want to see it end just yet. So we continue fighting. That's why everybody has been signing the petition that's going around to fight back against Sony and server slamming on the 9th of June. Oh, you can bet I'll be there. Just like everybody else should be. But there's more to it than that. Think about it like this. The supply and demand that Sony wants isn't what they're getting right now out of Destiny, which is why they want to, quote-unquote, shut it down, end live service. But what if there was a caveat to it? As an executive, wouldn't you want to see the thriving franchise, this brand that Bungie has created in Destiny, wouldn't it make more sense to continue on? Milk it for all it's worth, not cut it off at its source. So, it just doesn't add up to me, personally. Now, like I said, this is a hot take, but think about it. Doesn't that just sound fishy to you? Shut down the #1 source and bank on an extraction shooter? Now, we all know that there's a lot of sketchy business going on in the background. And Pete Parsons didn't help. But this isn't a flame war. This is I guess, an eye-opening question that I'd have to ask. Now, before I get to the reason why I say all this, I still want everybody to, no matter what, keep supporting Bungie. Keep being there for the server slam. Share it with all your friends. Stream it, record it, make videos, make content. Show Bungie the love that they deserve for something that has shaped all of us into the Guardians we are today. And seriously, share the love with your fellow Guardians. Emote with each other. Do some friendly little meme stuff in PvP. Go into PvE strikes, you name it. Get your fire team, get your friends, do some raids. And in all honesty, maybe even invest a little in Eververse. Just to show Bungie that we really want them to continue on. We want to be there at the end of the Light and Dark saga and seeing what new horizons us as Guardians can do in the galaxies beyond. So, I pose you this question. If this is truly the end, then let's make it one hell of an ending. But maybe there's more than meets the eye. What if this is a plan that Sony has planned from the beginning? Look at all of the things that are going on in social media right now. Everything's blowing up. Guardians coming out of the woodworks. Those that have retired from playing Destiny 2 and things like that, reinstalling the game and prepping for June 9th. To really show the love that Bungie deserves and Destiny as a whole deserves. So, what if this was Sony's plan from the beginning? Put the ruse and the wall over everyone's eye, thinking that we're not going to greenlight a D3. Also, why wouldn't they tell the lower employees down below that, and I'm not saying by any means, please, this isn't me saying that any employee is less important than the previous one. No. I'm talking about the echelon on the ladder of management. What if the ones on the lower end were supposed to keep working on the game, and the reason why they weren't told right away would have saved, Bungie some money, Sony some money. Nope, stop development right now because we're done. Why would they allow them to keep developing? Like I said, maybe there's more to it than we think. What if Sony has an unsaid ultimatum? We provide this demand, this supply and demand, so that on June 9th, You show us what you're capable of. Let's see how much money you can ring in an Eververse. Let's see how many players actively give a damn about the game. And things of the like. Yeah, the petition helps. Everything helps, Guardians. But what happens when we prove to them that this game is more to us than just a game? This is our lives. So many content creators out there that have made their beginnings because of Destiny and Bungie. So now it's our time to show them what this game means to us as a whole. And let's say we succeed. We show them that, yeah, it means a lot to us. And they see the numbers show up on the 9th and going forward with all the events and things people have been planning. And Sony goes, okay, there's the supply and demand. Now, keep those numbers up. The Sony executives pull in Bungie and go, okay, we will greenlight D3 under certain circumstances. For one, we want some exclusivity at first. We want, quote unquote, the console wars to come back, essentially, because that supply and demand then goes back into Sony's pocket. If we are willing to fight so hard for Destiny 2, what's to stop us from picking up a new console, a PS5, a PS6, to play Destiny 3? Maybe that was their plan. They want us to supply and demand our game through their console. And yeah, of course, there will be some backlash with that. Potential riots like Xbox people getting pissed because they want it on their console, or PC players like we all have been mostly saying we want our buttery systems to play the game that we love with our lovely frame rates and things of the like. And that may be just the way they start it. We want a couple months or a couple weeks of exclusivity before releasing it to everyone else. If they do a couple months, I guarantee you the sales for their consoles will go up, which means they pocket more money worldwide. Plus, content creators, if they don't have the consoles already, it can definitely sit there and go, I need to make content on Destiny 3, so I kind of need to make it. I need to buy this console. Or maybe it's a flagship title for a PS6. Who knows? Sony works in mysterious ways. They are a corporation after all. And not only that, I'm sure part of their mantra might be, we need less employees to work on a project. So that could also be part of it. We don't want to pay as many employees to work on Destiny. So we downsize. We'll give you the time, but you have to downsize. Because let's be honest, Bungie's a pretty big studio. So, all in all, my thoughts are just this. Let's show Sony that this is our game, this is our world, and we will fight for it. Prove to them that it is worth the fight. And hopefully it's enough for them to say, okay, we'll greenlight it, but under these circumstances. I'm sure we can be patient for the rest. But even then, we need to make sure to keep supporting the game. Even if you only play about an hour a day after the fact, play a little bit. Even if you're bored of it, whatever it may be, there's a lot of fun stuff to still be done through Destiny. And look how much of the community still cares. A lot of us. Even the voice actors. Even Lance. May he rest in peace as our Commander Zavala. You know he'd be playing right alongside of all of us. So, to not make this video too much more long-winded, remember, this is my hot take. And may it reach as many people as possible. I know I'm no big, giant content creator by any means necessary, but I have a feeling that there's something that we're not seeing. Some sort of cloak over our eyes, some veil that maybe, just maybe, we can lift it if we prove to them that we want it. This is Kikusari, signing off for now. I'll see you all starside, my fellow guardians.